Welcome back to Elevation 44. It's your girl B, or Elevation as some people like to call me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. It is officially Virgo season. So today we're going to be diving into Virgo season, what that means, energy-wise, what can we expect. If I sound a little weird, it's because my allergies are rocking, so please bear with me if I have to stop and sneeze or scratch my nose. Like, I got my tissue here, I got my tea here, and I am drinking the Virgo tea. I love, actually, I like a lot of my teas, but the Virgo tea is hands down my favorite tea in the entire collection. There's just something about it that is just so soothing, so calming. So if you want to get your hands on some of the Virgo tea, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link down in the description box down below. But it has definitely been helping me too, as I have been dealing with these allergies that have been popping up as of like the last 2 days. So please bear with me. So Virgo season. The sun has officially moved into the sign of Virgo on August 22nd, and it will go until September 22nd, okay? So this is going to be the span of Virgo season, and Virgo season is a much welcome break from the energy that we have been dealing with through Cancer season, and then a very intense Leo season, okay? So I'm not gonna lie, I am very happy to see this energy show up on the scene with the sun moving into Virgo. We leave a lot of the heavier energies of, a lot of squares and oppositions that were happening during Leo season, which is representative of, tension and conflict, and we move into a much more harmonious vibe where the sun is going to be making a lot of trines and sextiles to some of the other planets. So this is a lot more harmonious, it's a lot easier, it's just a better flow, okay? Just a better flow of energy, and we will definitely be feeling that this Virgo season. The Virgo season, well, with sun moving into Virgo, it actually also coincided with the Aquarius full moon. Well, the second Aquarius full moon, because if you have been following, you know that we had one back in July, and then we had another Aquarius full moon on August 22nd, the day that the sun also moved into Virgo. But this full moon happened right before the sun moved into Virgo, so the sun was still officially in Leo on the very last degree of Leo, though. It was on the 29th degree. So the meaning of this was more so about closing off a cycle, learning some lessons, being tested and challenged, and moving through those, lessons and adapting to change, releasing control, a lot of those things, right? And the second Aquarius full moon that we experienced was just much lighter in energy. You had the moon conjuncting or blending its energy with Jupiter, so it was very light, it was optimistic, it felt good, it felt better, it felt like the rainbow, I kept saying, that you see after the storm, right? And so this is the perfect, honestly, energy to coincide or to help lead the way into Virgo season, because, again, we're moving out of that place of like lots of major tensions and heavier energies and challenges into a little bit more of an ease of energy, okay? So this is a great transition into a Virgo season, okay? Now, one thing that Leo season did encourage us to do, and one thing that I kept trying to reiterate in all of my videos during Leo season, was the purpose, or the importance, I would say, of finding joy through the tough times, through the challenges. Joy is such an important thing. Finding that joy creates the balance for the tough times, right? So Leo season in general encourages us to be more lighthearted, to play, to find joy, to be creative, to embrace fun, right? And Virgo season is moving us out of that, in the sense that, not that that's not important, but it had its time. And now we need to move into buckling down and getting to work, because Virgo is all about getting to work. And I hear some loud birds just squawking. There are tons of birds in my neighborhood, y'all. So if y'all hear some weird noises, that's what it is, okay? So Virgo asks us to get to work. It says, playtime is over. Now it's time to organize. Now it's time to study. Now it's time to analyze, get into the details, to focus. Now it's time to nurture. It's to take care of yourself, take care of things, take care of the details, take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of the bills that have been piling up, or the pantry that is out of control. It really is about getting into the details, getting organized, getting aligned, and making it happen. It's really about buckling down and getting to work. With Virgo ruling over the body, this is also a great time to nurture not only yourself. You can nurture others, but to also nurture yourself, your body, to get your health back on track. This is a great time for purification and cleansing, because Virgo is tied to all of those things. It really does rule over the body in terms of health and purification, and making sure the body is in optimal alignment in terms of energy, right? So that is really a lot of what Virgo is encompassing and also asking us to do this season. This is really about going deep and focusing in one area. It really is. I can't stress this enough. And then when you see the different transits that are going to be happening throughout Virgo season, you're going to see this supported in the transits as well, where we're really allowed to focus. So if you've had a hard time focusing all summer, this is your chance. This is your chance to really take advantage of this energy, okay? So let's get into some of the transits that the sun is going to be making in Virgo, and then we'll move through the rest of the season. So as the sun moves through the sign of Virgo, it's going to definitely be making contact with a lot of different planets. And the one that I want to start off with is the sun opposing Neptune in Pisces. Now, when you have an opposition, you know that there's a little conflict that comes in. And the conflict here is confusion and deception, because there is a tendency to be more emotionally sensitive. There's a tendency to be more compassionate in general, and just sensitive to your environment and your surroundings. And that can be taken advantage of, because those who wish to use that to be manipulative in any type of way will do so, okay? So just make sure that, people aren't taking advantage of your compassion, your kindness, your sensitivity during this time. This transit, though, is a good time for you to feed your creativity and your spiritual side, because you are tapped into that intuition. You are tapped into kind of like the more feels and the things that are not seen. This is a good time for you to dive into that area instead, right? So just kind of watch for one and take advantage of the other. The sun will also be trining Pluto in Capricorn, and that trine is going to be a very harmonious change of energy. It's very synergistic, okay? So this is a chance, giving you a chance to dive deeper into gaining full understanding on a specific area, like a topic or an interest that you really want to dive into. So this is really a great time for studying. It's also a good time for eliminating things, okay? So we talked about that Virgo energy being very purifying, and Pluto is also about elimination, getting rid of things, all right? So this is great for getting rid of what's not needed. So this is great for organizing, decluttering, getting your ducks in order, getting your space together. This is a really great, and it doesn't even have to be physical. It can also be mental too. It can be a mental or, a body purging as well. So that is a great thing for us as well. The sun is also going to be trining Uranus in Taurus, okay? So again, another harmonious exchange of energy here, okay? So what this is giving us is increased intuition and sudden revelations, because Uranus is that planet of I'm just going to give you this flash of insight. Now I don't know where it came from, but it's coming, okay? So this will also help us, again, deepen our understanding in our studies. And it's also great for helping us invent something or creating something new. It's a good time because Virgo is all about the routines. It's all about work. It's all about organizing and studying. It's a good time to implement new routines. So if a routine has not been working for you, if you've been wanting to switch it up, changing up, be more productive, be more, I don't know, just go in a different direction. This is a time for you to embrace that new routine and all of that, okay? So on August 30th, the next transit that we have coming in is Mercury, and Mercury is going to be moving into the sign of Libra. So what happens when the planet of thinking and communications moves into a sign like Libra, which is all about harmony, balance, fairness? It's all about being social and being a part of the crowd, right? So our thinking and communications definitely shift to having a more balanced and diplomatic approach, where we're trying to, get everybody together on the same page, trying to appease the crowd or appease the group, all right? So this is really aimed at finding consensus among the group. Like I said, this is a highly intellectual transit, because Mercury does really well in Libra. Libra is an air sign, and air signs are all about thinking. Air signs are all about that mind and that mental stimulation. So this is all really about mind stimulation and highly intellectual conversations. This also is a great transit for initiating ideas, okay? So this is cardinal energy. Libra is cardinal energy, so it's all about initiation, starting things and implementing new ideas there, okay? The one thing that you need to really know is that Mercury is also going to be at conflict or opposite Chiron, which is the wounded healer in Aries, which is really speaking to a lot of our self-identity wounds, okay? So while you're able to really focus on bringing together like others around an idea or a message, it's really a challenge during this particular transit to kind of really be embracing your full potential or your full ideas, because your own intellectual abilities are something that you still struggle with, that you feel like maybe you're not capable enough, or maybe not, you don't have the knowledge, or you just still struggle in some ways with your own self-confidence and your own insecurities, and you have a lot of negative self-perception that can still come in and cloud your ability to bring ideas to the group, bring ideas to the table, and to make yourself known in this different way, or to give or contribute these intellectual ideas, okay? So this is a time for you where you can learn to be confident and move through those challenges and still know that you have just as much to offer as anyone else, and that people do want to hear your ideas and that they are good. So this is a time where you can be self-affirming yourself instead of doubting yourself and being insecure. Mercury is also going to be trining Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, so another harmonious exchange of energy. So this is really great for concentration, focusing on the details. This is great for researching, studying, making future plans, because again, Virgo is all about those details. This is great for organizing, business dealings, and socializing, okay? So like I said, Virgo season, there's a lot of benefits coming in here. Then we also have Mercury that is going to be trining the North Node, and this is again another good exchange. So we have our thinking that can come under change during this particular transit, as we're learning something new that helps propel us forward on our path or our journey. It could feel very aligned and purpose driven. So this is a lot of that that's coming in for that particular transit. On September 6th, we have the Virgo New Moon, okay? And this Virgo New Moon is also encompassing the theme of change, and change has just kind of been the thing that we've been dealing with for a while now, and change is the only constant in life. So it's something that we have to get comfortable with, right? Could be comfortable with change. But this Virgo New Moon is, oh gosh, my nose. This Virgo New Moon is definitely sparking curiosity. There's an excitement of change, adventure that is propelling us or aligning us more towards our increased need for independence and freedom, okay? So we have a trine happening on this new moon with Uranus, which is in Taurus. We also have that opposition with Neptune in Pisces. So the challenge really here is about discerning whether the changes that are happening or coming in or that are being presented are actually beneficial, because the likelihood of being deceived, that, you know, giving you that shiny object syndrome, is definitely likely under, you know, at this time. So it's just really about using your intuition in order to, you know, decide whether or not the things that are coming into focus are actually things that need to come into focus. So we'll talk a little bit more about that on the Virgo, or closer to the Virgo new moon, because I'll have a whole new video that dives into that. Okay, so let's move along to September 10th. And on September 10th, we have Venus, the planet of love and relationships and other things, right? Moving into the sign of Scorpio. So this is a water energy, this is emotional energy, this is depth, this is intensity, okay? So this is really a good time where we deepen our connections and our commitments and different things like that. Venus is also going to be trining Neptune and Pisces. So again, another good flow of energy, which is going to help us increase our creativity and our compassion for others. So there's that thing with compassion that's popping up again. Sensitivity, compassion, all of that is going to be high. I'm telling you, please don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Use discernment, use your intuition. Please let that guide you, okay? Venus is also going to be sextile Uranus. Again, very easy energy that is flowing here. And it's also going to be sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So this is going to stimulate your mind for excitement and something different. You're definitely going to be craving something different. There is expression of originality in your creativity or your work. And this also deepens your need for connection. This also deepens the need to also compromise in order to be connected to others. So that's something else that you also need to watch for. You don't want to you know, be compromising your standards, your goals, your values, just in order to be yoked or to be connected to someone else, okay? And that's very much more true because Venus is also going to be having tension, squaring Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which is increasing your feelings of loneliness, all right? And you can either become excessive with other things like food or spending money or anything like that just to compensate for that loneliness, or you can go the other route of, you know, compromising your values and different things like that just to be fulfilling that loneliness and being connected to somebody else, okay? So that's why I said don't lower your standards. Make sure that you are definitely staying aligned with yourself on that sense. September 15th, we are moving on because Mars, the planet of action, energy, direction, is moving into the sign of Libra as well and joining Mercury there, okay? So this is, again, that Libra energy is about peace, balance, harmony. It's also about justice, okay? So sometimes this energy takes on a very passive-aggressive nature because the primary goal of Libra's energy is to achieve peace, and so sometimes, you know, Mars is very aggressive. Mars is very action-oriented, very direct. And sometimes when it gets into Libra, it just kind of chills out because it doesn't want to rock the boat, right? So there's a tendency here to procrastinate or become indecisive because you also can get into this place of weighing all the options to make the right decision and then never make a decision. You're just kind of like, I'm just gonna stay here where it's peaceful and I don't have to make a decision to rub either side the wrong way, right? So that's really one of the things that can come in with Mars being in Libra. You can find yourself a little bit more indecisive, a little bit more passive aggressive, right? But the other side of this energy, and I think this is where we're going to be leaning because of the other transits that are happening, the other side of this energy is very action oriented, but it's very specific in the fight for justice, or you know what I mean? Because injustices are the things that rub Libra energy the wrong way, because this is all about fairness, justice, balance. Is the scales, right? Evening out the scales. So the fight for justice and fairness is definitely high here, right? We have Mars that's also going to be trining Jupiter, Saturn, and the North Node, okay? So again, great energy, great flow of energy and exchange. So there's passion, motivation to fight for the collective, okay, and the overall vision of improvement and advancement, not just for the individual, for the whole, because Libra is very social, and Jupiter and Saturn sitting in Aquarius thinks about the collective. It's about that humanitarianism. It's about moving us as a group forward, okay? And then the North Node is that destiny, where we're supposed to be headed, that purpose, that vision, that future, right? So we feel very called really at directing our energy towards our this mission, this greater purpose, which is to advance the collective, and whatever your role is in that, okay? So this is a great this is a great way to utilize Mars in Libra, okay? Mars is also going to be squaring, having tension with Pluto and opposite Chiron, okay? So the one thing to keep in mind here is that these opposing forces will be also the opposing forces, not these, the opposing forces will be fighting for control, okay, under this. So you're fighting for justice and fairness, and they're fighting to keep things the same, to keep things, you know, unfair, to fight for injustice, in the opposite sense, right? They're not fighting for justice, they're fighting for injustice, right? And so they're fighting for control, domination, and they can be very aggressive in their tactics. And again, I said you got to be careful, because that Mars in Libra can be very passive aggressive. So be very forceful and direct with your energy, okay? So the power struggles here may also trigger your own issues or insecurities and past wounds of personal power and independence because of that Chiron opposition, which is representing a lot of our own internal wounds there, okay? So let's wrap with September 20th when we have the Pisces full moon coming in, okay? So the challenge here is literally for us to really focus and channel our energy in a very positive way, okay? Because our emotional sensitivity is going to be high. Again, confusion and deception is going to be high. Self-destruction can be a thing under this transit. And there is also a high likelihood of infection or disease or things that might pop up around this time. So we got to also be careful. So there's a lot of things working here to knock us off balance during this Pisces full moon. High irritation, anger, and aggression is definitely going to be things that we're experiencing around this time. We also have a lot of emotional or deep emotional emotions. I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Emotions that are going to come erupting up to the surface, feeding that anger and aggression. This is really calling us to be led by our intuition, by our spirit, by a higher energy, a higher source, to see our way out of this energy, because we're not going to be able to do it on our own. So this is really calling us to lean on something higher, okay? So this is where we're going to have to dig deep, y'all. We're going to have to dig deep for this Pisces full moon. And we're going to talk more about it in that Pisces full moon video, where I'm going to break it all down on how to work with this energy. So the herbs that I would recommend you working with this Virgo season are lavender. You can also work with fennel. This is great for protection, healing, purification. You can also work with the crystal jade, which is great for harmony and clarity. And there's going to be a lot of good, you know, like I said, energy and transits happening that is going to bring that for us. So that's just a crystal that you can use to kind of tap into that a little bit further. If you don't have jade, any green variety crystal actually really works well under Virgo energy. So look into some of the green variety crystals and, you know, definitely, you know, do your own research and see which one resonates with you, and you can use it throughout Virgo season. So I will recap and say this is the season to get your ducks in order. This is the season to dive deep into one area. If you've been wanting to study something in particular, if you've been wanting to sit and focus and get something done, if you've been just wanting to cleanse yourself, purify, nurture, take care of things, this is the season to do it, okay? So that is Virgo season in totality. Well, the major transits that I can pull up as well. We will definitely dive deeper into the new moon and into the full moons that are going to be coming up during the season. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss those videos. And please let me know, Virgo gang, where you at? Where my Virgo sons at? Who's experiencing their solar return? I want to hear from you. Leave that comment down below. That is it. I hope you have a great Virgo season. I will see you all in the next video, and have a good one. Peace.